Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, Robert Parris, Gretchen Carey with Community Calendar, Peter Brown with the weather, and Anthony Matos with sports. Thank you for joining us. The Select Board held a lively continuation of a public hearing recently to consider whether to send a letter of support for a proposed friendly Chapter 40B affordable senior condominium project. The proposed development is on Mountain Road, one of the higher elevation points in Burlington. If the project is approved by the state, it will then go before the Zoning Board of Appeals for approval. There was a considerable pushback on the project from residents and representatives from the Conservation Commission, Planning Board, and Land Use Committee. Let's have a look.
Steep sloping land suffers from erosion when their vegetative cover is disturbed or removed, and you then have bare soil. When the intense rain falls on steep slopes, water rushes down the slopes and causes flash flooding, washouts, and water pollution.
We have received several concerns from neighbors blasting, several concerns about elevation, as Chair Cohen had stated. I think we're adding more affordable housing in kind of a difficult area when we don't really need it.
The major justification for placing this apartment building in anywhere in Burlington is the idea that we have a shortage of housing for seniors, and that this would address that issue. And I would like to suggest to you that this is a mirage, that the units are on the southern edge of Burlington, and that the developer cannot and will not be able to guarantee that a single person from Burlington will live in this apartment complex.
We really cannot overstate the importance of the Select Board letter of support. I am not an expert in this, but I have been making inquiries, and it's my understanding that the letter of support from the Select Board carries tremendous weight with the state.
The Select Board voted unanimously to leave the public hearing open to receive remarks from the Housing Partnership Committee before closing it. A final discussion and vote is planned for their January 23rd meeting. Two members of the Burlington Fire Department were recently promoted. Chief Andrew Connerty recommended to promote firefighter Brendan Machichi to fire lieutenant. Machichi was a civilian dispatcher prior to becoming a Burlington firefighter for 16 years and has served as acting lieutenant. Machichi is certified driver and operator for both the pumper and aerial apparatus and carries a bachelor's degree in fire sciences as well as many other attributes. Current Lieutenant Michael Bibby was recommended to the rank and responsibilities of fire captain. Bibby has been a firefighter for over 30 years and a fire lieutenant for 4 years. He is a fire alarm technician, is certified fire instructor and inspector, and is pursuing a bachelor's degree in fire sciences. The Mass Department of Public Health has awarded Burlington, Lexington, and Wilmington Boards of Health, together known as the TriTown Collaborative, a public health excellent grant for $300,000 per year for the next 3 years. The grant will allow coalition municipalities to share resources and staff, such as a health inspector, community service worker, public health nurse, and epidemiologist. Work conducted under the grant will augment the work currently being done by the three communities. Burlington will serve as the lead agency for the grant, which includes responsibility for overall budget and program management and supervision of the grant staff. Burlington is advancing the zoning development for the area's largest commercial district, the Mall Road Middlesex Turnpike corridor. Following a year-long effort with Mass Development, the town has selected Brovitz Community Planning and Design to develop a new zoning framework that guides development of the area. The town has been studying the area for the past 3 years to create the concept plan, which identified nearly 100 acres of development opportunity with the commercial districts, most of which exist as underutilized surface parking lots. To unlock this potential and guide development and increase density, the town is launching a 10-month process in collaboration with Brovitz Community Planning and Design to engage community stakeholders and craft new zoning for town meeting to consider in the fall of 2023. Nomination papers for the 2023 annual town election are now available in the town clerk's office at Town Hall. Nomination papers must be taken out by February 8th at 5 p.m. There are a number of open seats, including town moderator, select board, school committee, the assessor, library trustees, planning board, board of health, housing authority, and the recreation commission. If you're interested in running, visit burlington.org and navigate to the town clerk for information. Ballot positions require 50 signatures, certified signatures. Town meeting positions require 10. Burlington Police Chief Brown was before the Select Board with an update on the department's body camera program. In early spring of 2022, the BPD received a grant to fund a new body cam program as a result of the police reform law. Burlington Police have signed a contract with Utility Inc., body-worn cameras and evidence management tools. I think they should reduce the size of that name. Officers are still a couple of weeks out from receiving the body camera equipment. In the meantime, every officer is being allowed $200 to buy new and retrofitted uniforms that allow for the camera placement on the garments. The BPD body cam program will meet the minimum public records requirements. Storage of the massive amount of data the body cams accumulate depends on the public record retention laws and active cases. All Burlington police officers from the top brass on down will be wearing the body cams. The Select Board unanimously approved a liquor license for Goodnight Johnny's American Music Bar. Goodnight Johnny's is an American-style comfort food concept with live music and dancing to be located at the Shops at Simons Park. The endeavor is awaiting approval of a special permit from the Planning Board. Goodnight Johnny's has been a passion project of owner and proposed manager John Tebow and is partnering with his wife to develop and fund the new scheme. The Select Board voiced that the town has been waiting a long time to fill a location, and this restaurant is just the type of project they were looking for. Nikki Cadillac has made a name in the community, writing the daily newsletter Burlington Buzz. But for the last 4 years, she's been writing full-time and has published many essays, poems, and short stories. This month, she releases and unveils her first novel, When We Were Mothers. BNEWS reporter Chris Flaherty caught up with Nikki, who spoke on her inspiration and time writing the novel. Let's have a look.
Nikki Cadillac, founder and author of Burlington Buzz, has been writing full-time since 2018 and has published many poems and essays. This month marks the release of her first novel, titled When We Were Mothers. When We Were Mothers takes place in a fictional world where the government has outlawed natural childbirth. The anxiety expecting mothers may feel in early pregnancy was the initial inspiration for the novel.
I sort of always found myself wishing for some kind of way to know how everything was going, what was going on inside my body when I was pregnant. And so that led to, one question led to another, if there was a monitor, how would that work? Well, maybe artificial wombs would be the way that you could see your baby as it grew. And if there were artificial wombs, well, what if the government mandated them? And so my kind of imagination got away with me. And I started thinking about, if government was to mandate the use of artificial wombs, and there was a group of people who didn't want that anymore, what would happen? And so that's sort of the starting point of the book.
Cadillac explained how she grew as a writer while working on the novel.
One of the big things that I took away is just because you're a good writer doesn't mean you can write a good book. I took a lot of classes and did a lot of work on making my writing sort of more relatable and more accessible, because I was used to writing research papers and very direct kind of first-person articles, and writing a work of fiction is just way, way different. And so it took a lot of development and growth to be able to get the story into the shape that it needed to be for publication.
Cadillac hopes When We Were Mothers can spark both conversation and curiosity in its readers.
I hope that it invites people to have conversations about reproductive rights in a way that maybe we're not already having them, because it does touch on reproductive rights, but in a completely different context than the conversations that are happening right now in the mainstream. And so I really hope that it also invites conversation, because one of the main questions of the story is what happens when somebody close to you threatens your worldview. And I think there's a lot of things that are happening in life right now in the world where people just can't talk to each other. and people that you care about deeply that have a different worldview. I think a lot of people feel very threatened and have a really hard time reconciling when they have a different viewpoint from somebody, and really pushing through that and having a conversation is the important part.
When We Were Mothers by Nikki Cadillac is available to readers on January 17th. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Teen photographer Gwyneth McNamee, owner of Almadine Photography, recently opened a stand at the popular Made in Burlington store. John Vias visited her at the store and has this report.
Made in Burlington is a popular spot in town, located at Wayside, giving residents of all ages an opportunity to share their passions by opening up their own small businesses right inside the store. 14-year-old Gwyneth McNamee loves to take photos and uses her own professional camera when she's out and about capturing the sights of nature. She shares her findings with customers here at Almadine Photography.
Alma is the name of my maternal great-grandmother, and Dean is my maternal grandfather's middle name. My great-grandmother, when I saw her pictures and everything, she really stood out to me. The name Almadine had a good ring to it.
Gwyneth and her mother attended a craft fair at Made in Burlington. She saw there weren't any other photographers around. They talked to the good people at Made in Burlington, and Almadine Photography was born. When it comes to photos, her specialty is nature, as you'll see when you walk up to her table.
At my house we get a ton of wildlife, so I like taking pictures of a bunch of the wildlife, like the deers and the bees and the birds and everything. And the moon's also really pretty to take pictures of.
I think it is so incredible. It's so great to be able to give opportunities to young kids and teenagers to grow their business, empower them to get out of their comfort zone, sell their products.
Gwyneth loves to share her creative art with friends, family, and the shoppers at Wayside, and Mom couldn't be any prouder.
It's really nice seeing my daughter find something that she's really interested in, and as her parent, I kind of want to nurture that and have her really explore and grow and learn more. Not only does she get to explore her passion of photography, she gets to learn about money management and business ethics and starting her own business.
Stop on by to Made in Burlington and bring home one of your own prints from Almadine Photography.
So if you're a small business owner and are interested in selling in the store, you can email Made in Burlington, let them know what you make, who you are, and if there are any openings or available spots, they can get you in.
If the photos don't come out good on the first try, don't give up, because I know a lot of my photos that I take are really blurry and pixelated, and I would get bad photos and then they started getting better, and they're still getting better, so just don't give up, basically.
From Wayside Shopping Center, this is John Vias for BNews.
Gwyn is a regular contributor to Burlington BCAT's Photo of the Week. A look now at Burlington's weather forecast as the warming trend continues with our meteorologist Peter Brown, and then the community calendar from Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading into the middle of the winter. So as you start our period on Friday, yes, we're actually going to be having pleasant conditions. That is, if you like the heavy rain and wind, it looks like we're going to have another repeat, very similar to the storm that we had just prior to Christmas weekend. We're going to see temperatures in the low to mid 50s, very breezy out there, and a lot of rains, maybe even a rare January thunderstorm. So getting in towards next Thursday, our high temperatures at this time of the year should be in the mid 30s, and actually January 19th is the coldest day of the year here in New England. And we're going to be ending the period about average for this time of the year. Looks like it's going to be mostly in the wet variety. And of course, as we head further and further into winter, our length of day in terms of sunlight is getting longer and longer. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us here in the Burlington area over the next 7 to 10 days in terms of temperatures and precipitation. Again, the first map, nothing new, not too bad to take in January. And of course, as we go a look at our precipitation chances, almost the entire country except for southern Texas and southern Florida, they're looking for us to have above average precipitation, especially if you're out on the west coast, as we've been seeing over the past couple of weeks. So let's go ahead and take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. The sun is probably going to break out in the afternoon, so it'll be able to dry up any of that heavy rain that fell, so we won't have to worry about a freeze up like we had back before the Christmas weekend. And then getting into the weekend, an average to slightly above average temperatures, so fairly pleasant out there. Temperatures in the 30s on Saturday and Sunday, and then into and around 40 on Monday. Now, had to throw in a little bit of the snowflakes there, especially at this time of the year in January. Although right now, looking at the forecast models, looks like this is going to be another chilly rain event here for the Burlington area, so I don't think we're going to be taking those shovels out anytime soon. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
It's flu season. You're probably planning to get your kids their flu shots, but remember to get yours too. Vaccinating your family is the best way to protect you and your kids from the flu. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Get your flu shot today.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On January 18th from 7 to 8:30 p.m., the Burlington Public Library is having a Zoom event called Winter Pruning. Why, when, and how to prune your shrubs. To register, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. On January 19th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department is having a day trip to Gunstock Mountain. Ages 13 and under must be accompanied by a parent. For more information and to register, go to burlingtonrecreation.org. On January 28th from 8 to 10 p.m., Tuscan Kitchen in Burlington is having a Headliners comedy show. To register, go to burlingtonareachamberofcommerce.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
In addition to the events in our calendar, there are many local area celebrations planned in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King. Bedford, Reading, Lexington, Cambridge, Medford, and Peabody all have events planned. You can check them out along with our events at our website, bcattv.org/news. Up next is Sports with Anthony Matos.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos. In this weekly sports report, we're deep into the winter season and we have some updates. A senior at Buckingham, Brown and Nichols and Burlington native Ronan Hannafin is getting ready to head off to Clemson this fall. BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris caught up with Ronan and found out how he worked his way up to become a great athlete.
Burlington's own Ronan Hannafin is heading off to Clemson to play football.
You know, I've been playing football my whole life. My dad kind of instilled it in us, like my whole family, and just, you know, the Pop Warner days playing back at Burlington with, you know, my buddies from there. And yeah, just that's kind of where it started.
Hannafin is a senior who goes to Buckingham, Brown and Nichols in Cambridge. Hannafin started to take the sport to the next level when he arrived at BB&N in middle school.
So I was on the middle school team, and you know, it was a bunch of the kids that are playing now with me are, you know, play with me then. So we have a good bond as teammates, and it's been really fun ever since.
Ronan and his brother Shane were the dynamic duo on the field.
We've had that bond ever since we were probably in second grade. Back in Pop Warner, I always played up with him. So ever since Pop Warner, we've been on the same team, and you know, it's been great. We had that dynamic duo going. So, but it's really awesome to really see him live out his dream playing college football at BC. So
they were on the same page all the time. So it was very, very fun to coach them, and it was you know, fun to see both Shane and Ronan grow together. So it was really exciting.
I'm psyched for him. I'm so proud of him getting the opportunity that he has to go to Clemson, play big-time Division I football, and I'm looking forward to seeing him on the field.
After 30 college offers, Hannafin decided to play at Clemson, which was not an easy decision.
It was a difficult choice at the end. Obviously, there's a lot of great schools and a lot of great coaches that I had a good bond with, but at the end of the day, you could obviously only pick one school, so I think Clemson was the right fit for me and my family because of all like the coaches. They were obviously great people, and Coach Sweeney and Coach Christian, the wide receiver coach, they've been talking to me for a while, so done a great job over there. Obviously, they have a great program, so I just want to be a part of that.
Coach Mike Willie is glad he had the opportunity to coach Ronan.
Ronan, I mean, he's obviously a talented, gifted athlete. You know, has a lot of skills for sure. We have a pretty, what we think of as a pretty good formula that we follow here at BB&N. When it comes to recruiting, and you know, so we kind of laid that out for him, and he kind of followed it to a T. And you know, his hard work and dedication to that process really kind of showed through. So he ended up with some unbelievable opportunities.
His parents couldn't be more excited for his next chapter at Clemson.
Through his coaches and teammates and things, he was able to really work hard enough to earn, you know, a number of different opportunities, and traveled down to Clemson with him, and he got to meet the coaches down there and got to feel the culture of Clemson. It stuck with him, and there really wasn't any other place for him. It turned out to be the right one for him.
Grateful for the opportunity he's had here at BB&N and with Coach Willie and his teammates, and also really looking forward to all that's to come at Clemson. He's going to be coming in with a great coach, Coach Grisham and Coach Sweeney, and just really looking forward to the future and all that it holds for him, and exciting day.
Very proud of him. Very proud of him.
As Ronan's journey comes to an end at BB&N, He is grateful for all the opportunity he's had with his coaches and athletes.
I obviously want to thank all the people that got me there, like my parents, my family, and all the coaches. Coach Willie's done a great job being able to put me in this position. So, and obviously I want to thank God for all the talents he's given me, and not done here.
From Buckingham, Brown and Nichols, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
Boys basketball had 2 more wins this week after a 60-48 victory over Watertown on January 6th, then after a 54-52 win over Arlington on the 10th. As was taping, the team is 8-1. The girls won by 2 over Watertown on January 6th with 8 seconds left, 60-58. Burlington got the win versus Arlington with no problem, 58-37. As was taping, the team is 3-5. Girls hockey and boys hockey both had away games on the week of January 6th against Stoneham. Both teams lost their match against Stoneham, 3-2 for the girls and 4-1 for the boys. The ladies did not get time to rest as they faced Arlington High School on the January 9th, where they were shut out 0-2. The Red Devils tied Watertown on January 11th, 1-1. As was taping, the girls are 5-4 and the boys are 1-4-2. The undefeated streak ended for the girls team as they fell to Wakefield 52-48. Currently, they are 3-1 on the season. Boys remain undefeated at 4-0 with a 58-42 win. Both teams were invited to the Massachusetts State Track Coaches Association Auerbach Freshman-Sophomore Championship on January 8th. You can check out the full results at beattv.org/sports. Another meet at the track at New Balance will take place for the two on January 26th against Wilmington. Red Devil Wrestling had a tri-meet over the weekend of January 6th against Linfield, North Reading, Winchester, and Hanover, finishing 1-2. The boys won 42-33 over Linfield and North Reading. The Red Devils had a tough time over Winchester in the 60-24 loss. In the last match of the day, the Devils were unable to bounce back from the previous loss as they fell to Hanover 60-12. Burlington lost at a one-sided affair against Melrose on January 11th, 71-9. Here's what Coach Schwartzman had to say about it.
Tonight's meet was tough. We knew it would be tough. Melrose defending state champs. I mean, they're a great program. Their coach is, one of the best coaches in the state. We knew we'd kind of be up against it. We got a young team, but we went out there and battled. I thought a couple matches could have gone our way, but, Ahmad wrestled great, and Alex McGilvery's has been really on a nice run, and he, took care of business, got himself a pin. Red Devil Swimming competed against Arlington Watertown combined team on January 10th at the Shawshene Tech Swimming Pool. Burlington lost by 20 in the meet, 91-71. After this taping, the team is 1-3. Lady Devils Gymnastics secured their first win of the season against Winchester of January 10th, 136-125. As the taping, the girls are 1-1. Red Devil Gymnastics had a meet in the South Shore on January 6th against Braintree, Lowell, and Newton. Burlington came in first place with 122.9 points, Braintree with 105.9, Newton with 104, and Lowell with 51.1. The Red Devils have a rematch against these teams at home on January 12th. After this taping, the team is 1-0. On January 17th, we'll be back in the rubber gym of BHS for the Lady Devils Gymnastics home opener against Arlington High School at 6:30 p.m. on the BCAT TV Facebook page. You can check out the Game of the Week list on our website at bcattv.org/sports. That's all for now. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
In our latest health and fitness segment, we take a look at a slow-paced, therapeutic style of yoga to calm and reduce stress. Let's take a look.
In meditation, we take a 60-minute class, and we basically are holding our postures. We pick maybe 10 postures, and we hold the postures for anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. And it really helps calm the central nervous system down, as well as calming your whole body. And we add on extra breath, and at the end of our practice this evening, we add on a nice 10-minute meditation, a Shavasana, which has been really popular through the past couple of years especially. It seems to pick up. People need to do the long stretches, calm themselves down, and take some time for themselves to relax. As you hold a posture for a long time, it relaxes your muscles and in turn relaxes your mind and settles you down. And I think people who tend to take this class, it's more of an evening class after a long day, and they can calm themselves down instead of working into a higher level class. This is more of a slower pace, but more effective for your central nervous system. I teach 7 other classes. I run a gentle, relaxing, restorative practice that runs on Mondays and Wednesdays at 4:30. It's a great time if you're a teacher or you get out of work early and you don't want to run home. You can come to the class. class. It's a great time. It's an hour. It's all stretch, no vinyasas, basically all mat work. I also am running, besides the yin class, I run a yoga sculpt class, and we use weights during that, and that runs at 10 o'clock on Monday mornings. It's the best. We have a great group. We have a great yoga program here. It seems to be extremely strong in the town. Great students, great people, great community. And a lot of people will go out after for coffee and do things, and it's become quite a connection in town. So come and sign up. We have a lot of fun.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This photo was taken by Steve Morin. Someone had a late night at Steve's office. The photo shows a skeleton with some wires hooked up to his rib cage and is typing away. I guess it's never too early in the year for some Halloween spirit. Thank you for the photo, Steve. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your outdoor activities, families, friends, and pets, the weather, sights around town, or anything else you'd like to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, Robert Paris, John Vias, Peter Brown, Gretchen Carey, and Anthony Matos. Thank you for joining us.